Spectre is the latest film in the James Bond franchise, and like Skyfall, this film was directed by Sam Mendes and stars Daniel Craig, Christoph Waltz, Ralph Fiennes, Noémie Harris, and also stars Dave Bautista. The film's plot is this. After a message gets sent, Bond has to cover an organization called Spectre and has to uncover the truth about this group before it goes worldwide. And along the way, a female character named Madeline Swan and the agents of MI6 have to help him along the way. Going into Spectre, I was really looking forward to it because I was such a fan of Casino Royale and Skyfall. And if you ask me to give me my opinion on Quantum of Solace, I haven't seen it yet, so don't expect me to give a full opinion on it. After seeing it, I will admit I had a great time with this movie, even though it's not as good as the two movies I just mentioned. But now, let's talk about what I liked and what I didn't like. First things first, the acting in this movie is pretty good. Daniel Craig shines as Bond, and after I saw the movie, a friend of mine said that if he was a badass, he would want to be Daniel Craig, and I could probably agree with him on that. Lee Chanez plays our Bond chick, and she does a fine job as well. And because all the time, when you're in a Bond movie, you want to have a chick that's relatable and falls in love with James in the middle of the movie. While that might not be the true statement, it is still what you get when you have a good Bond chick in a good movie. Our MI6 agents, Ben Whishaw, Noémie Harris, and Ralph Fiennes give pretty good chemistry, and I'm sorry if it says a few pauses there. I just had a little bit of breath there. And finally, we have Christoph Waltz, and while he gives a good performance here, he's not as good as the guys who played the Chief and Javier Bardem as Silva, and those are two of my favorite Bond villains in the Daniel Craig run as of now. Like normal in every Bond film, the action is grand and pretty awesome in this film. Two good examples of the action is a helicopter fight in Mexico in the beginning of the film. I thought it was a very good and very intense way to open the film. Or even a fight between Daniel Craig and Dave Bautista on a train, which I thought was pretty great for action in this film. Like most action films, you want to have good writing so you can make the characters likable as the film goes on. This film, and the franchise as well, demonstrate that Bond and the rest of the cast of characters are likable as the films go on. Like most action films, there are a few flaws that hold this movie back from being perfect. Number one, the pacing. In this movie, the pacing is around 2.5 hours long, and while the movie goes on, you're probably going to be asking yourself, what can they do next? It's just this kind of thing that I really wish that most modern action films are around 2 hours. The second flaw I have with this film is that some of the scenes of Christoph Waltz were kind of boring because it kind of drags on a bit, and I know that I already mentioned that the film's pacing was kind of a problem, but just that kind of bothered me as the film kind of went on. At the end of the day, Spectre is a great movie with good acting, intense action, and fantastic writing. Even with those flaws and a mixed reaction from people, this is still a great way to have an action-packed time in the cinema, and especially go see it if you're a Bond fan like me. I'm Jeff Buckland. Thanks for tuning into my review for Spectre, and without further ado, time to go be a spy and save the world.